Looking back at the year 2020, it all started off really well, just like any other year. Now we know that 2020 has a rather bad reputation, but I would like to focus on the good things. I actually been really busy. It's been a very busy year for me. So first of all, it started off with the Bellyfairies being back in the classroom, like any new year after the break. So we were preparing for upcoming shows that at that time were still going to go ahead. I signed up for my regular ballet and lyrical class. I continued with the NBAF of the Melissa Belly Dance in London. I found a lot of time to do some improvisation videos. The month January actually gave me a lot of time to focus on my self-improvement. I found a lot of time to check out music and did some improvisations to it. My birthday present from the year before was a light whip, and so I obviously gave that a go and tried it out. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, so actually in January I did a lot of improvisation videos. Not just in January, but throughout the years, you will find. Because of our upcoming show in February, we also did a dress rehearsal with the Magical Vibez and the Bellyfairies for our performance at the Enchanted Market in February. February came along and we were still very much blissfully unaware about what was going to come our way, and we still attended our sessions without any social distancing requirement. I continued with my NBAF sessions in London. I attended one of Katie's workshops in Reading that was organized by the SMBA, and that was wonderful. And even though we were aware that the virus has entered Europe, we didn't really see much of it in the UK just yet. So there was no alarm really with regards to needing to keep our distance as such. And so there were 2 workshops in February that I attended with Katie, and then I had some more time for some more improvisation videos for my channel, working on ideas for upcoming choreographies for the Bellyfairies and solos. And then came the only show that we were able to participate in this year.
So we have some lovely Greek goddesses
In 2020, and that was the Enchanted Market, which we absolutely adore performing at, and I am so glad that we had the chance to perform on stage with a live audience. Little did we know that it would be the only time that we were able to do that in 2020, so it's definitely something to cherish. And as we always do, one show comes to an end and we're preparing for the next one already. Again, little did we know that this show unfortunately would have been cancelled towards the actual day of the show. This was meant to be performed at the Bastille Festival this year. Maybe we get a chance in 2021. Along came March, and with that my introduction to belly line dances that I had thought of in February, and the first one I created, this one here, and it was meant for people to come together and dance it in a group, just like you can see now with the Bellyfairies. This was our last session in the studio with the Bellyfairies before all the studio sessions came to an end because of the government's restriction of getting together in groups indoors, and that was just before the national lockdown in the UK. I also attended my last live classes with the SMBA about rhythms, the last workshop with Katie, and the last session with the NBAF before everything went into lockdown. And as you can tell from the photos, we didn't really keep much of a distance. So from the 23rd of March 2020, we were asked to stay at home unless you were a key worker. Luckily, I was able to work from home, but I also had holidays booked for the end of March going into April, and obviously that trip had been cancelled. So I found myself again with some time to be creative and to share some of my creations on my YouTube channel. I was able to have some uplifting messages, did some more improvisations, worked on choreographies, and just really made the most of the time to dance from home in a safe environment without contributing to the spread of the virus, without being a hindrance to the essential workers. And we started with the Bellyline dance compilation videos to include everyone who was obviously needing to stay at home or not being able to socialize. I also participated in Erskine's Dance from Home challenge. A lot of artists and a lot of teachers were trying to include their students and other people just to make the most of it and have a great time even during these strange social distancing times and being in lockdown. So I again found some time to do some more improvisations, especially because I was supposed to be on vacation at that time. And lockdown went into April, and I published my second Bellyline dance for people to learn from home online, to then again be included in a compilation video, since the lockdown was at least going to last for a month. I also started a little series about confined space exercises for those who didn't have a studio at home or didn't have that much room to actually do any exercises. So I put that one in place. I also signed up for the Santa Maria Belly Dance Academy online course. Little did we know that this would be an ongoing thing for quite some time. But I also found some time to play with my LED wings outside. And with everything in a crisis, the British people always find humor in those situations. And yeah, so you kind of have to play along with it. So unfortunately, with the lockdown, there was a wave of panic that overcame the nation a little bit with hoarding groceries and all other necessities, and especially toilet paper. People seemed to feel that they needed lots and lots of toilet paper so that they wouldn't run out. And it became a little bit of a joke, not just within this country, but worldwide. And I just had to join in to make a video for myself for my channel. And as it happens with me sometimes, my imagination went a little bit wild. So because I usually do seasonal greetings on my channel as well, Easter was coming up during the lockdown, and I thought, well, what is it that people really, really, truly want for Easter this year in 2020? And the only thing I could think of that it must be toilet paper. And it was all so much of a joke that I was just thinking, oh my god, we have to worship toilet paper. And there was this song that I had always loved, and I was just thinking that is the perfect song to do it to. And yeah, so it sparked my creativity again, and I made another video, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Again, we weren't allowed to go anywhere, but luckily we've got a garden, the weather was nice, and so I just really created another fun video, which came just out of this situation of the lockdown. And obviously it is not a laughing matter with regards to the virus, but again, you do need to make the most of it. And so yeah, there you go. And with a lot more time on my hands, I had come across a challenge which was called Choose Your Player Challenge, and I was like, you know what, I can do the same but as a belly dancer and just really showcase some of my costumes and some of the props, and that was a lot of fun doing it. It took forever though, but I mean, if not now, when to do it, eh? And then I created the next compilation of the second belly line dance, and a lot of them were dancing outdoors because we had really nice weather in the UK, so that turned out to be a lovely video, and the fellow dancers would be able to see themselves in the videos. And it became very apparent that even if we were going to be able to go back to the studio, that participants and performers would not be able to have enough time to practice and get ready for the yearly Dance for Clean Ocean show in June, even if they were going back to the studio at the beginning of May. So lockdown may have come to an end, but social distancing was still being enforced, which meant that you weren't really able to meet up with people. There was always a 2-meter distance that you needed to stick to. Ideally you shouldn't meet indoors, and so luckily the weather was getting better in the UK, and so that allowed for a lot of dancing outside, and I created the next belly line dance, which was actually meant to be performed at the Bastille Day Festival, but obviously that wasn't going to happen in July this year either. So again, creativity and improvisation kept me busy at home, just practicing and trying out new things to music. And because of the changes in the world with the coronavirus, the Dance for Clean Oceans event obviously couldn't be held as a live show, so I decided to make it an online show where participants could send me their performance recordings in a video format, so we would share it on the day in an online event, accessible to absolutely anybody in the world. It wasn't therefore a local event anymore, anyone could be participating. And so I also created a little combo as a finale, a little bit like the belly line dances, so that different people could participate even if they didn't have a solo or a group piece. And obviously group pieces were a little bit of a challenge in these months, because first of all you couldn't get together to prepare anything, and then not everybody is able to do video editing, and it's very tricky anyway to keep the timing and all if you're not dancing together in a group physically. But with that came an opportunity for the Bellyfairies, which was absolutely amazing. Because of that charity event, and because it was no longer a local affair, but rather an open event to anybody, anywhere, we were asked to promote the event on Isolation Station. And that was so much fun. So I did a little bit behind the scenes video about this, just the preparation, because you have to understand that we are so used to performing and preparing for shows that since the lockdown none of that really happened. We weren't able to perform, we weren't able to prepare for anything properly, we couldn't get together as a group. So that was a very exciting moment, and it meant getting dressed and ready for in a way in a performance, but it was online, but you would still dress up. I would get together with the Bellyfairies, obviously online, social distancing style, and we would then meet with Lily Kim and G-Mac from Isolation Station to bring a little bit of joy to the community and show them a few moves. And we had so much fun with them. It was a real giggle, it was real excitement, the getting ready for it, and the preparation for it with the Bellyfairies. And yeah, so that was definitely a highlight in those months where we couldn't get together, we couldn't perform, and we didn't really prepare for any shows.
This is really hard. We've got Rachel Spinetti. This is really hard, Rachel. I'm sweating. You guys.
Because we're trying to raise awareness with the charity how bad our environment is suffering from our single-use plastic society, I create my own costumes sometimes for the event from materials that otherwise would just end up in the bin. So I just really use anything that I find around me to create a costume, and this is for this year. And obviously plenty of time for more improvisation videos, getting to know new music and just having fun with it. In June I published the 4th belly line dance, and it now had become some sort of tradition for belly dancers to send me their clips for the inclusion of the belly line dance compilation video. We also had amazing weather in the UK, so you can tell that everyone was dancing outside, which was wonderful. Then Dance for Clean Oceans came along and I could present my creation of my recycled costume. And there was another highlight where we had one live performance on the day, and that was because the government had allowed for a group of 6 people to come together outdoors with a 2-meter distance, and so I invited 6 dancers into our garden to perform live on the day at the same time. And the belly line dances proved to be fantastic because anybody could learn it online even if they hadn't learned it so far. So we chose one of the older belly line dances, and yeah, we had a live performance, which was such a treat, and the girls were so delighted to be able to see one another in a group again. And everything else had to be online, so any dancer could send me a link to their video and I would share it throughout the day on the event. And so this is my creation. I was inspired by the evil sea witch Ursula from Ariel, and I had a lot of fun preparing for the costume, creating the choreography, learning the choreography, then obviously performing it, doing the video edit to it, and it was just lovely to work on a project again for a good cause as well, which is wonderful. And people were able to comment on the different videos and just really be entertained, because there was nowhere to go to be entertained at that time. So yeah, it was good. I mean, it wasn't perfect. The live show would have been a lot better, but well, you have to just go with it and make the most of it. And then we had the lovely participants of the finale combo that I had created, where they could send me their clips and I would put them together in a compilation. And yeah, so that again was inclusion of everyone, and everyone got a chance to perform, even if they weren't able to have their own solo performance or group performance. Then of course using a lot of the time for improvisation videos, a little bit of sword practice as well. I thought I may as well give it a go again. The Bellyfairies were supposed to perform at the 60th anniversary of the Woodley Carnival, but obviously that was cancelled for the right reasons, so we did a little video compilation of the 60s piece instead. And I kept my creativity flowing. I created a lot of improvisation videos for my channel this year in 2020. It was also fun to dress up for it at the same time and just basically perform, even though there weren't any shows on. It was great listening to music and coming up with combinations and just really freestyling, because that is what I do when I come up with choreographies. I pick a song and I improvise to it a few times. Then I pick the bits that I like, and this may either turn into a solo choreography or a group piece. And because of the social distancing and lockdown, we spent a lot of time stargazing, so that inspired me, after taking some pictures of the full moon, to do a little video with a full moon in the background. And then I obviously created another belly line dance for the following month, and I wanted to film it because it was lovely and sunny outside. I dressed up and everything, but unfortunately I started facing the camera, and for my follow-alongs I always face to the back so that whoever is following can get a good start on it. So I just used it as a preview for the next belly line dance. And so that meant I had to record it again for the actual follow along video. And that also meant that I was wearing a different costume again, and I had to wait for a nice day where it was lovely and sunny out. But it's all worth it. And then of course I spent a lot of time still just really listening to new music, doing some improvisations, and the summer also inspired me to do a little dandelion video. It just looked so nice with all the yellow dandelions in our backyard that I had to come up with a lovely video for my channel. And then one thing leads to another, because I was using classical music for the dandelion video. I then wanted to do an improvisation to a classical song as well. And with the weather getting better and better, we were able to use the garden for our Bellyfairy rehearsal sessions again. And we were just delighted being able to come together again with the 2-meter distance. Obviously, social distancing was still a requirement, but we were able to meet up again and rehearse and practice and prepare for upcoming shows. And obviously the improvisation sessions still continued with props, without props, indoors, outdoors, depending on what I needed. Even though the weather was nice, it was often very windy, so a veil session definitely had to be done indoors, but then for other things outdoors was great. And then in 2020 I celebrated my 9-year anniversary, my 9-year belly dance anniversary, and so I did a little documentary looking back at that, as I usually do. And yeah, so that's another project I was working on. And I mentioned earlier that I signed up for the SMBA online classes during lockdown and the social distancing, when there were no face-to-face classes, and that worked out really well for me, because I wanted to participate in a course that I would have otherwise not attended because it was in a different location that I would have been unwilling to travel to. And since this was going to be offered online, I really wanted to sign up and learn this tango fusion piece by Helen Santamaria, and I enjoyed it, I loved it, it was challenging. And then because the summer show wouldn't happen, we recorded ourselves, the students, performing this particular choreography. It got me out of my comfort zone, it just made me think differently with regards to performing. I really tried to get into character and try to deliver this piece as best as I could. And so yeah, this year gave me this opportunity to learn this piece, as under normal circumstances I would not have signed up for that class, as it wasn't local to me. So thanks for that. In August we had another belly line dance coming out for everyone to participate in, of course. And then I had some more time again for some improvisations. I've been creative, mostly outdoors, playing with props when it wasn't windy outdoors. And I started the plank challenge, the 30-day plank challenge, which started in August and took us into September. And it was a great challenge, and it got people involved online to do the challenge with me, which kept me going as well. And I created another video for my Belly Dancers Do It Differently series, just for fun. I also started signing up for online lessons with teachers that I haven't learned from yet. I started taking lessons with Fleur Estelle, which was super exciting because I always wanted to go, but I didn't want to travel to London for the classes. But now I didn't need to because they were online. I also enrolled in a yearly membership with Sadie, who I have had the pleasure taking face-to-face workshops with in London back in the day, and I thought I'm going to take some online lessons with her again. September brought another belly line dance, of course, and a lot more time again for improvisation videos, working towards creating choreographies, be it solos or group creations. And we also finished the plank challenge, the 30-day plank challenge. And I signed up for lessons with Mayel, who I already knew from the NBAF workshops. And after the plank challenge finished, we started the 2-minute shimmy challenge on my channel as well. September is the month of a new term start in our dance world, and I signed up again with the SMBA for the open level as well as the advanced level of the RBSB for this term. I made the most of the weather while it lasted and just created another lovely summer feel video for my channel, as well as my preparation for my very first performance at a Zoom Hafla. Obviously 2020 brought so many changes, and there were no live shows that people could attend to, that everything was happening online. You would sign up for classes online, courses online, workshops online. There were many haflas that were conducted online as well, and it was just really a change in how things were being done. Staying at home times gave me a little bit of time to grant some fantastic Friday requests again. I sometimes get requests on my channel and I try to fulfill them if I believe that they go well with my channel, but oftentimes I don't feel like I have the time to create a video. October brought the colder weather, so outdoor dancing wasn't really an option anymore. This belly line dance was recorded in September still to be ready to go out and be published on the 1st of October. And I signed up online for my lyrical classes again with the BPD. Again, some more time for playing around with music, doing some improvisation. And I also was inspired by my plank and shimmy challenge to create another warm-up session, a free warm-up session that I offer on my YouTube channel. One of the advantages this pandemic has brought us was that dance teachers had to go online, and with that were accessible to students all over the world. So I was able to sign up with Jasira, who is an international performer and teacher traveling the world, and you would normally have to travel to wherever she's teaching. But with the whole world being like in lockdown and social distancing and limited travel opportunities, I had the opportunity to sign up for her workshops online. As the days got shorter and shorter in autumn, we spent more and more time indoors and not that much time outdoors anymore. So I created a lot of different videos again for my channel, from seasonal greetings to another choose your player inspired video, but with regards to my belly button jewels. Mid-October I started my shorts YouTube channel, only for short videos. Obviously throughout the whole year I created the belly line dance compilations every single month. I've been creating Halloween greeting videos on my channel for a few years now, but this year ended up having 3 different videos on my channel. So I had Halloween greetings part 1 and part 2, but then additionally I created another last minute improvisation video when I was dressed up as a cat for an online session that just happened to be on the 31st of October when I took class with Mayel. November is my birthday month, and I created another belly line dance, of course, and it was really wonderful because it was the second lockdown in the UK actually, while I was having my birthday, and the compilation video kind of felt like I was celebrating with my dance friends, which was absolutely amazing. Again, some more practicing and improvisations, playing around with music, working on choreographies, and the fact that I like video editing. Every time I create a video, I learn something new. There's always some sort of progress, be it in my dancing, be it in the edit of the video, be it new ideas that come my way, and finding the time to respond to another fantastic request from one of my YouTube viewers. Thank you very much. And of course, I took the opportunity to sign up for a third workshop with Jazeera as my birthday treat. Because I had signed up with the Rachel Bennett School of Belly Dance, I learned a cabaret fusion piece online with Rachel, and it was meant to be performed as a group piece in at the winter showcase, the Snowflake Spectacular in December. But like anything else this year, that had to be cancelled as a live show, and we were encouraged to film ourselves and perform it as a solo and share the video with the other students, just to have a little bit of a show in our own way. And then we had December, and I have to say that in general, November and December are always my busiest months. And because I create a lot of seasonal videos as well for my channel, and so we had the last belly line dance of 2020, which obviously was a Christmas edition to Feliz Navidad, a lot of fun. But I also had my advent calendar clips going again for 25 days, so from the 1st of December until the 25th of December, I would post small little video clips, ideally Christmas related, or at least to celebrate the festive season. So I have to come up with loads of different ideas to keep everyone entertained, and so it's like a little virtual advent calendar. Now I've done one in the year 2016, 17 and 18, and I actually didn't manage to do one last year in 2019, but I think I made up for it this year in 2020. So yeah, a lot of little clips went out there again as the advent calendar. I even created a little snowman so that it could dance with me, or I could dance with it in the in one of the clips. And I just love being creative and create different things. And then obviously to mark the year 2020, I just had to have one little clip with a Christmas tree made out of toilet rolls, just because if I look back at this like in 10 years time, it's just gonna be so surreal, and it'll just bring back the memories of this totally strange year that we have experienced in our lifetime. And yeah, again, a little bit of humor takes us a long way and brings a little smile on people's faces. Now when I learned the cabaret piece, the Feather Fan cabaret piece with Rachel Bennett, I also had the opportunity to learn one of her Polynesian dances, also to be filmed and performed as a solo, simply because we weren't able to perform it as a group together because of social distancing and trying to keep everyone safe. So because the Christmas show wasn't going to go ahead as a live show, we again had the opportunity to film ourselves and share the performance with our dance friends in December. And so that was the first time I ever tried Polynesian dancing, and I really enjoyed it. It's a lovely opportunity again that I otherwise would not have had if it weren't for online classes. And then the Bellyfairies. So as the days got colder, we couldn't really meet in the garden anymore. but I really wanted us to have something for Christmas. And so end of September, beginning of October, I said, let's do a Christmas piece. And so I've created a choreography. We learned it all online, safe distance, social distancing style. I created a video with all of us in it, and we just had a lovely social distancing compilation for our Christmas greetings to the world. And of course we also had a belly line dance compilation video, just like every month since March this year, and just to spread a little bit of festive joy. I also threw in another tutorial with regards to shoulder shimmies as a little bit of a Christmas present. I like to keep track of my milestones, and the Shorts YouTube channel that I have created in October had over 1,000 views for the very first video I had uploaded. And because the belly line dances were so popular and so successful throughout the year, especially because of COVID, a lot of dancers joined into the compilation videos, and that included dancers from all over the world. We had participation from India, Canada, Malta, the UK of course, and even from people that I haven't personally met myself, and that was rather special. And the feedback that I got from people with regards to how it helped them through the COVID times and staying at home in lockdown inspired me to do a little documentary on how it all started and what it developed into. Another milestone was that my channel reached 700 subscribers on the 30th of December, just before the year end. And the Bellyfairies got together again online, social distancing. We brought back my LED wing choreography that we had already performed in 2019, and we just really wanted to end the year 2020 on a high, and we wanted to share some light and love with everyone. So we got together and filmed ourselves, and I put it into a social distancing compilation for everyone. So Happy New Year! And although I hadn't planned to submit a New Year's Eve greeting of a solo of myself this year, I somehow got inspired throughout the last day of the year, and I thought, well, let's just do a little something for my Shorts channel and submit another video. And so this was my last video of 2020. What a year to look back at. Wow, let's see what 2021 brings us. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.